G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a trail carbine. This is yet another Fallout 4 New Vegas weapon based on the weapon of its same namesake. So it's a lever-action rifle that chambers the 44 Magnum rounds just like it does back in Fallout New Vegas. There's some animations that go along with it, and some customization. Not a whole lot of it, so we'll go through this nice and fast. First of all, we've got the receivers. The strongest receiver you can put on this thing is a calibrated, powerful receiver. Doesn't appear to be any in the way of advanced receivers at all. So 156 damage is the strongest you can get out of these things, but you'll get better critical shot damage. So if you want to maximize on damage, then you better have a luck build ready. Next, you've got the barrels. You can have a shorter barrel if you feel like it. That'll reduce your range, and a light variant of that. You can have a longer, lighter barrel, or a long ported barrel, which will help out with recoil control. I can't see any porting in the barrel, but we can just assume that it's there. And next, we've got the optics. We've got iron sights right here. You can have a short scope, long scope, short night vision, medium night vision, or long night vision scope. It's a lot of night vision scopes going along with this. I wouldn't really regard this as like a snipery, nighttime, stealthy sort of weapon because there's no muzzle slot to put a suppressor onto this thing, but the option is there, I suppose, so sure, why not? I think a short scope will be just fine for this one, although to maximize on your AP usage per hit, you might want to just consider using the standard iron sights just so you can get as much out of this thing in VATS as possible. And lastly, you've got a cosmetic option here, so you can have blued steel, forged steel, or hardened steel. Pick what you want. These don't do anything except change the color. And that is our trail carbine. We're gonna go and find out where to find this thing in game, and then I will start shooting stuff with it, I suppose. The trail carbine is injected onto leveled list. I'm not sure which level it starts popping up because the mod doesn't tell me, so you don't get to know either. That's how this works. Also included in this thing is Mare's Leg, which I believe is a unique version. It's basically a sawed-off lever-action rifle, but it fires the 45-70 rounds, which are a lot stronger, apparently. That's almost hitting 300 damage, so yeah, we'll definitely pick that up. Expensive, but I feel like that damage might be worth it. Thanks, robot. Alrighty, we're back at Immersive Gunners Plaza for the first time in quite a while. I've been ill, so I haven't been able to record stuff without coughing or sneezing, you know. That's not a very fun thing to listen to whilst I'm shooting stuff. Anyway, so here is our trail carbine in first person, aiming down the scope. You'll see that it is a vanilla scope overlay with a projectile that is hit scan. You can see little dust particles still up on the trees where I hit, but if I actually start shooting stuff, the hit marker forms as soon as I pull the trigger, which is good. So this thing's got range capability, and being able to hit a mosquito like that from this far away, that shows me it's got a lot of precision. So, you know, it's not all terrible, but I think we're going to find problems with this thing. But before we get into that, there's a couple of quirks with this thing that I like. Obviously, when you reload this thing, it's sort of got a dynamic reload. The first round that you're reloading in this thing will always be directly into the chamber, like that, before you reload into the little tube receptacle below it. But funnily enough, when you fire exactly one round from this thing, you'll fire it, and then you'll rechamber it by operating the lever. And if you go for a reload now, you'll open up that lever again, and that cartridge that you've just loaded in, which was presumably be full and not fired yet, well, it's gone. But if you look at the spent cartridge or casing on the ground there, it's empty. So, you know, that's kind of a fun quirk, but yeah, it's just some Fallout 4 nonsense. I'm pretty sure it's not really to blame on the mod itself. That just might be how Fallout 4 works. Anyway, so here is our lever-action rifle, our trail carbine, just with standard iron sights. Is going to be slightly better to use in VATS. You'll notice in third person, we hold this thing with just 3 fingers on the grip. Interesting. Maybe you don't need to handle this thing all that much, but yeah, I thought that was a kind of interesting quirk about it as well. And of course, we've got Mare's Leg, which is very short, obviously less capacity in the tube because the tube itself is shorter as well, so we're reloading that thing a little bit more than we will be reloading this thing. Anyways, so let's go ahead and start off. I suppose there's no reason why we can't use this thing in slow motion. And we'll try to utilize gun fuel as much as possible here. Find ourselves a target. There we go. And one more shot. I think we may have got some gun fu crits there, but none of those were particularly strong, even though some of them were headshots. And herein lies the problem of cowboy era weapons. Sometimes, well, most of the time in Fallout 4, it just doesn't work, especially when we've got a damage penalty of like 50% before we even hit our enemies. Ah, Mysterious Stranger has shown up. You'll see there, without the sneak criticals, I'm hitting these guys for under 100, and if you could make this reload happen faster, that would be great. As they creep slowly into range. Oh, the Mysterious Stranger has shown up again. Really? Kind of being a frenemy right now. I'll manage to get 700 on that gunner, which is helpful. Add a critical into the mix. Completely with it. Perfect. I think at this stage, we're pretty much ready to start fighting for real. So maybe we just bring out Mare's Leg here and shoot them with a crit. That's helpful. Probably need a crit for there. That one, not so much either. Let's just fire at everything. Why not? All of these crits past a third is going to be... Or all of these shots past a third is going to be criticals. So this should die. I don't think at this stage I'm going to be doing my sneak criticals either. No. Definitely not. Okay, that streak is over. Now they're throwing Molotovs at me. And here's the problem with lower capacity non-self-loading rifles. I'm going to get absolutely destroyed by these guys. Oh, you can interrupt the reload as well. Should mention that. So that's pretty helpful. And I'm hoping we can fire this thing a little bit faster if we hip-fire this thing. Maybe. The hip-fire isn't particularly reliable, so maybe we'll just leave it. Not sure whether a calibrated powerful receiver should be the end-all be-all on this thing. Because, well, I'm just thinking maybe it might be worth it just having the advanced receiver, because I'm not critting with every single shot. So I'm potentially missing out on damage, I suppose. Anytime you're ready to reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And okay. We finished the reload and we didn't follow up with any more shots. So the reload might actually cut out VATs a little bit. I think we just got some collaterals there, which is helpful. But there's the problem, and you've seen it just now. Like 80, 88 damage, 93 on that one. Maybe I was hitting her arms before the torso there, but if I'm hitting for under 100 with a 9-round magazine with a slow-ass rate of fire like this, problems can occur. Luckily, we can go into Red Dead Redemption super slow-mo bullet timey mode. I've played Red Dead, that's exactly what it's called. Maybe we go back over to Mare's Leg at this stage and I don't know, just like, shoot them, I suppose. It's gonna cut me out of VATs, isn't it? No, it didn't. That's helpful. Before you throw that bloody Molotov, try to finish you off. No, he's thrown it into the tree in front of him. That's fine. Maybe I should just, like, go over here or something. Yes, that's better. Now I'm not being shot at. That guy's almost dead. Right? Was that one of you guys firing? Because that sounded like it was right bloody next to me. Let's hear it for concentrated fire. There we go. Okay. Let's maybe circle around and try to take on less of them at once, perhaps. That might be better for us. maybe get a reload on everything, so if I need to shoot something in a pinch without having to sit through a reload animation. Alright, we've got some criticals, may as well use them. Okay, Mysterious Stranger has shown up. We'll let him take care of our other friends, I suppose. I suppose I could just reload this thing way faster in VATS, so those bullets slowly load in. There we go. The amount of damage he does compared to me is staggering. See, this guy's got an energy weapon, and I've got some cowboy thing. Actually, this thing was originally designed around the 1940s, so yeah, we're not fighting with cowboy era Winchesters here. This is something. Oh, well, I think Nerd Rage is active, so let's try to make as much use of it as possible. Skip along the ground. Really want to capitalize on this rather than it wear out at a moment which is inconvenient. 1, 2, 3. Bam, one shot kill. That's helpful. Ugh. Let me just reload this thing real quick. I'll be with you in a minute. Any moment now, while we're young. Really scraping the bottom of the hit point and barrel here. Looks like it's time to Nerd Rage again. You can stop looking at me, you're a conscript, you'll die in one shot. I'm gonna get you. Just let me reload this thing. Eventually, I'll kill ya. Okay, Mysterious Stranger. No, that was Idiot Savant there. We'll go double critical on this guy, because why not? And hopefully... No, that's not happening. Whoops. Missed with the grapple hook there. There we go. Beats taking the stairs, don't it? Alright, I think this stage... Oh, come on. Any hit against me at this stage is just terrible, catastrophic even, so I'm hoping for some sniper knockdowns on this guy. Look at him jump. There we go, a sniper knockdown. Hell yeah, I just got a bash damage kill, isn't that great? But at this stage, we're kind of screwed, so if you want to just like sit still and let me shoot you in the face. Here comes the plasma. That was close. Whole life flashed before your eyes, coming and seeing that plasma glob in your face. Oop. There's a sniper knockdown, a little bit of break dancing at the same time. Isn't that cute? I suppose we'll just generate some criticals. Okay. Now we're good. We're good. We're fine. We're okay. Just gotta make sure we don't hit the railing or anything in front of them. Let me just reload this nice and slowly. Number 5. Add a critical in the mix. 600 damage. It's okay, I suppose. And we're out of AP. That's fine. We'll just shoot this guy normally. Since his intent just to sort of stand there. It's I don't know. I'm not enjoying this thing. My expectations for it weren't really high, but even then, like, this is a slog. This is a complete grind. This is not fun at all. Perhaps, ooh, this guy's got an invisible face. Perhaps I'm punching way above its weight and setting it a task which it is not ever used for, but I think this thing back in New Vegas was sort of a mid to late game type weapon before you get into your brush guns, which I suppose is what those mare's leg is. It's a carbine, sort of, taken to its most extreme. As soon as this reload's done, you're finished, mate. You're gone. There you go. Got a couple of rounds in here, may as well reload this thing. Just a big tank-on-tank slugging match. Am I losing to this? Am I losing to an assault rifle for DPS? I think I was. Okay, so that was a trail carbine. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It sucks, and I am covered in blood. Terrible, terrible injuries have occurred through the use of this weapon. We're still maintaining a positive mental attitude about it, though, so isn't that helpful? Do they fade away? Like, how do I get rid of that? So normally I'd apply a legendary effect onto this thing to, you know, make it stronger so I can take out the swan, but there's no legendary slot, so we've done this instead. My specials look like that. That's pretty cool, right? Anyways, let's begin, shall we? We're gonna use our mare's leg here, and then, I don't know, get as many criticals as possible and see what we can do. That first shot, 1300, I thought, oh, we're in for a good old-fashioned beat down here, but no, he's still aggroed with everything else. However, we can just keep on shooting him forever and ever and maybe add some more criticals in the mix. We did okay there. We're chemmed up to the maximum, so...
Stop! Human is friend.
No, whatever. Blow yourself up, see if I care. I'm all chemmed up. I won't even feel the nuclear explosion. There we go. Now that we're a little bit closer, we're getting slightly better damage numbers. There's that aforementioned explosion. Don't think that would have done a lot. Add some criticals. Nope, didn't do too much. That was all VAT's defense, I think. Now, it's time for a 1v1 fight. Hoping for many rolls of... Well, not Grim Reaper Sprint, the 4-leaf clover thing. As he pulls a rock out of his ass. I think we did pretty well there. It's almost time for mutation. And... there we go. Oop. Let me just get out of the stagger. I swear there was someone else shooting at me. There is. There's someone just behind him. Who is that? Is that just a Rust Devil that he's just completely forgotten and ignored? Might be, you know. Just gonna keep plugging away at his health, and eventually he'll drop. You put enough 4570s into the skull of a gigantic super mutant behemoth, then he's gonna fall down and die. At least that's what the health bar says, and nope. No rocks thrown at me today. So I'll go around here. Yeah, look at that. There's just a Rust Devil here. Actually, I might be able to use you to my advantage. So if you want to just stand there, and then I can get a little bit of gun fu bonus on this guy. We might even get a Grim Reaper Sprint as well. Gives me a crit. Nope, not happening. That Raider, so very useful. Well, the Rust Devil, I suppose, but you get the idea. How much extra damage am I getting out of this? Probably a couple hundred extra hit points every shot, especially if they're a crit. So, we've done pretty well out of that. But now it is time to go over here. Good old jet fuel, that's what's making my AP come back so fast. That's the easiest way to get hooked on jet if you're doing a junkies build. Just get a bunch of jet fuel because you can take that over and over without the game stopping you because the game time is already slowed down. So that's worth it. One more critical should finish him. Hooray, we did it. A billion chems later, doing it like the courier would, I suppose. Anyways, I think you get the idea. So that there was the Trail Carbine, along with Mare's Leg, and it was okay, I suppose. I wouldn't recommend it for any endgame. Were you just hiding there the whole time? I think so. Wouldn't recommend it for any sort of endgame things, unless you're playing on survival where, you know, the game doesn't rob you of half your damage before. But even then, like, the 44 cartridges, I think, are kind of heavy, so you might be better off just using it in a 44 Magnum or possibly Western Revolver instead, but I think you get the idea. So the Trail Carbine, it's a good weapon. Presentation-wise, I think it looks really good. If you really like this thing from Fallout New Vegas and you want to port it into Fallout 4 with a shiny, fresh new coat of paint, then go right ahead. But performance-wise, I really can't recommend it unless you want to, you know, play within low or to mid-level areas where this thing will probably do a lot better than what you've just seen. But yeah, definitely no endgame weapon here. But on that, thank you very much for watching. Link will be in the description if you're interested. See you next time.